What's up, everyone? All right, so in today's episode, I'm going to break down my trades from the morning. I have made it to Europe, which is great. I got here, flew overnight, so landed in the morning, got just a little bit of sleep and enough to be able to sit down, get some trades, and lock up $65,000 in profit. Fantastic. Finally, a nice day. Monday was slow, Tuesday was slow, but today, game time. So that was great. What did we get for action? We got a couple of stocks that started to pull away, and GCTK is continuing to move up a little bit here. But remember, at the opening bell, this is where we start to see increased bigger spreads because of market orders. And I find that to be very tricky. So I'm not wanting to overstay my welcome. I want to be grateful that I'm green and live to trade another day. And so that means walking away early. Maybe it means leaving some money on the table, but when you're walking away with $65,000 in your pocket, you don't really have any reason to complain. All right, so GCTK was the last stock that I traded, but it was not the first stock I traded. My first stock today was EYEN. And on this one, I lost $6,000. First trade out of the gates. What was happening? All right, so this one I bought for the break of 10 right here. It goes all the way up to 1075, but instead of selling, I doubled my position. I doubled my position because I thought it was going to break this resistance level and squeeze through 11, 11 and 50 or higher. Ended up getting stopped out as it came back down, red $6,000. So that was my first trade of the day. Disappointing. And then a moment later, ULY hits the scanner. ULY hits the scan and immediately skyrockets. This thing pops up and I was surprised, but it hit the scanner. It gave us a micro pullback right boom there. Bought that micro pullback at 8, it was like 8.50. Ends up going all the way up to $13.50 a share. $33,000 on ULY over the course of these, 15 minutes of trading it. Got some dips, got a curl back up. I just couldn't believe it. An incredible move. So that changed the day completely. Now, by the way, GCTK is currently halting down, right? So a reminder, you overstay your welcome. Next thing you know, you're in a big position. It's halted down. We don't have halts pre-market, but we do have them once the bell rings. Now, I did give back a little profit on this one. We'll go over those trades in a moment. But PRTG was one of the next stocks I traded after ULY. And so what happened on PRTG was this one pops up, has news that they've regained compliance. Not usually a strong headline, but man, the thing held up well. So I got a little dip there on a micro pullback. And oops, sorry, my drawing tool's being funny. Look at that. It's like my mouse pad. All right, so anyways, pops up, dips down, sold into this squeeze right there, and that was $6,400. So at that point, PRTG canceled out EYEN, and I had basically $30,000 on the day of profit from ULY. So I was like, all right, so today the way it kind of worked is I started down $6,000, then I made about $15,000 on my first trade, so I got myself up $10,000. Then I got another $5,000 winner, was up $15,000. Made my way up to about $27,000. And you might recall that yesterday I was up $27,000 as well. And you remember how I finished the day? Basically flat. So I said to myself, $27,000, you got it back. Maybe you want to keep this in your pocket. Should I walk away right here? But ULY kept giving more opportunities. And so I kept trading ULY on this break of VWAP, this curl back up, was hoping we would get a squeeze back to 1392. And even though we didn't, I was able to add more profit. So I got myself up a little over 30,000 on the day when GCTK came along. So on my first trade on GCTK, I made $5,000. And on my second trade, I gave it all back and went to flat. So first trade on GCTK was, let me pull this up here. So it was right here. And I bought in the middle of this candle up here around 880. It goes from 880 to 980 to 10. So locked up $1 a share, made $5,000. All right, so that's pretty good. However, I did not keep that profit in my pocket. What ended up happening was I added back right here for what I thought would be the curl back up, and I stopped out down here, and I went back to flat. So I was like, okay, well, that wasn't great. It comes back up here, dips down, comes back up again, and then you can see kind of rejects. So it really was not easy in this area. And then we had sort of an interesting move. It got above VWAP, it broke back below it, back above it, back below it, and then right here it broke back above it, and I added right here for the breakthrough this pivot. This is called a pre-market pivot. It's a level that I would say is a line in the sand where if that level breaks, then we've got a lot of room to the upside. That level broke, and I got a nice squeeze here to 11. Boom, now I'm up 45,000 on the day. Pulls back, pops up, catch this breakout right here. Boom, now I'm up 70,000 on the day. And in this area, I peaked at about 77,000 and then added back here, gave back a little bit on that drop, added back here, gave back a little bit more on this drop pre-market. And that's when I said, all right, 65,000 is good enough. I'm going to be grateful for that. Once I kind of stop making money, I just accept that, the writing is on the wall. Well, usually I'm pretty good at accepting that. Some days I'm better than others. Now, for what it's worth, flying overnight, naturally, you don't sleep super well, red eye, kind of tired. And, but however, yesterday, not last night, but the night before when I was still in New York City, I got a really good night's sleep, turned down the AC, slept well. So I was prepared for the fact that I wouldn't get a lot of sleep today. So my kind of 3-day sleep average is still pretty high, even though today was low. And I think that's allowed me to kind of rally pretty quickly today and have a pretty decent day. Now, the challenge is, am I able to make good decisions when I'm tired? And it depends on how tired I am. But there's no question my fuse is a little bit shorter when I'm tired. And so I'm grateful that I was able to have some good price action, make the most of it, and have the presence of mind to walk away before I gave back too much. So at this point, I would say I'm up 65,000 today, plus 3,000 Monday and 2,000 yesterday. So I'm up 70,000 on the week. What's the goal for the week? 100 grand, right? I'm still working with $100,000 weekly goals, which means I need to be generally hitting $20,000 a day. I'm well above it today, so I'm kind of back on track for my weekly goal. And as long as I get a good night's sleep tonight, then I should be feeling pretty good going into tomorrow, right? So my hope is that we have some decent action Thursday and Friday, finish up the week. Definitely we got some good moves today, which is great to see. So in any case, I'm going to be showing up bright and early, making the most that I can out of sort of the breaking news that we get during the pre-market session. And then especially because I'm in Europe, not going to be trading like late into the day. It's just not going to, that's not what I'm going to do. But I will do as much as I can in my 3-hour window, extract as much profit as I can. And I'm well over $1 million on the month of June. And, I kind of set a sort of aggressive mental goal of 1.5 million. So as of, let's see, this is not going to be, this is before this week, but it looks like, so 60, so 70. So I'm at about, $1,160,000. So I've got another, 340,000 to get to 1.5 million. I could do that in one day. I mean, if we get some really good action. But I think realistically, over the next 3 days, I probably should be content with just trying to hit that $20,000 goal and finishing the month around 1.2 million, something like that. I just, I think since we've seen a little bit of a shift in momentum these last few days, it might not be realistic to try to get that 1.5. But today was better than expected. So that's just, you just never know. All right. So I'm going to try to keep these recaps brief while I'm traveling. Kind of like my trading, get in, get green, don't overstay my welcome, get out. And for those of you guys who are already members at Warrior Trading, I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. For those of you guys that haven't already checked out the 2-week trial, 2-week trial for $20. Watch over my shoulder while I'm trading from Europe. Let's see what I can do during this this trip. And it is a work trip. I've got some meetings that I've got here. I've got some staff members that I'm going to be meeting with, and working on the software that we're developing and everything else. So I've got a lot that I'm doing, but I'm going to be trading every day. So hope to see you guys in the chat room, and I'll be streaming bright and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reminder as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so please manage your risk, take it slow, and always practice in a simulator before putting real money on the line.